22nd January 1565. Hampi was the richest city in India. 500,000 people. Diamonds in the markets. Gold on the temples. 23rd January 1565. The army was gone, and by July, the city was dead. This is what 6 months of destruction looks like. 3 days after the battle, the Sultanate armies reached Hampi, and what they found was a city with no army, no king, no protection. 500,000 people, completely alone. The soldiers marched in with fire and sword, with crowbars and axes. And they didn't stop for 6 months. February, March, April, May, June, July, every single day, burning, looting, destroying. The temples that Krishna Deva Raya had built with his own hands, pulled apart stone by stone. The palaces where poets and scholars had lived, set on fire. The markets that had sold diamonds like vegetables, reduced to ash. The irrigation systems that had fed an entire civilization, completely destroyed. One historian who documented the destruction wrote, "Never in the history of the world has such havoc been wrought on so splendid a city, teeming with wealth and prosperity one day, seized and reduced to ruins the next." This wasn't a city that declined slowly, that faded over centuries, that was forgotten gradually. This was a city that was alive on 22nd January and dead by July. The artists fled, the poets ran, the traders disappeared. The scholars who had spent their lives studying in Hampi's great libraries scattered across South India overnight. 200 years of art, 200 years of music, 200 years of literature, gone in 6 months. The Virupaksha temple, the only structure they didn't completely destroy, stood alone in the middle of a ghost city. Over 500,000 people had called this place home. Now there was no one left. Hampi, the city of victory, had become a city of silence. But nobody talks about what happened next. The Sultanates won the battle. They destroyed the city. They ended the empire, and then they turned on each other. The alliance that had united 4 kingdoms for the first time in history collapsed within months of their victory. They had destroyed the one thing holding South India together, and within decades, they too were swallowed, first by the Mughals, then by the British. The city they burned so completely is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The empire they erased from history is now studied in universities across the world, and the ruins they left behind are still standing. 500 years later, that is episode 5. Follow Journey Jodi, because the next episode is not about destruction. It's about what survived. Comment fire if this is the most heartbreaking thing you've ever heard about India.